It's 1:47 in the morning. You're replaying 4 seconds of a conversation from 11 hours ago.
Not the whole conversation. One sentence. Then, a pause, half a second too long, and something moving behind their eyes.
You've run it 40 times tonight. You'll run it again.
Everybody calls this overthinking. Like it's a volume problem.
Here's the actual question. If replaying it has never once worked, why does your brain do it all night? For free?
It isn't free. Somebody's getting paid. Tonight we find out who. The usual explanation is that you're too sensitive, too much in your head, and the usual fix is just stop thinking about it. Incredible. Cured.
Here's what almost nobody tells you. Susan Nolen-Hoeksema spent a career on the replay loop. People already low, who went back over things, felt like they were finally working it out. Measured after, mood worse, solutions worse.
The sales pitch is a lie. So every time you tried to think your way out of overthinking and failed, that wasn't weakness. You were fighting the loop with the loop.
And you already knew that. You're self-aware. That's the part that makes people crazy. You can watch the whole thing running, and it keeps running anyway.
So this isn't the how to stop video. This is the hidden psychology of how the loop works and what it charges you.
One thing before you catch it yourself. Watching a video about overthinking at this hour is also a way of not sleeping.
We know. That one's real. Real enough to get its own episode. Tonight, the 5 on the contract.
5 loops, 5 names. Each one gets an exit you can run tonight. Free, no app, no morning routine, and an honest price tag because none of these are cures.
Number 2 is why worrying feels like work and produces nothing. Number 3 is why it's always the middle of the night.
Number 5 isn't a 5th loop. It's the engine the other 4 run on. The most useful thing in this video is bolted to it, and it only makes sense after the first 4.
Fair warning. Number 5 only pays if you sit through the first 4. Bail early and you leave with trivia, not the defense. Your call.
There's a part of your head whose whole job is to imagine bad futures before they arrive. It runs drills. That's ancient, it's honorable, and it works.
Simulate missing the flight, leave earlier, catch the flight. 10 out of 10.
The problem isn't the drill, it's the payroll. Every drill pays out, a small click of relief, handled, prepared, covered, whether the drill was useful or not.
In 2 currencies that don't spend anywhere. Certainty, now I know how that goes. And progress, I've been on this 2 hours, so I've worked on it.
That's the whole thing. The loop doesn't run because it works. The loop runs because it pays.
Let's run it on you. Bring up the thing you've been chewing on this week. You already have it. It showed up before I finished the sentence. Now go back into it. 1 pass. The email, the pause, the decision. There. That small click when you picked it back up, like checking a lock you already know is locked. That's the payment. Your brain isn't broken. It's collecting. And you just caught it live.
The wage is counterfeit. The bill isn't. In 2010, 2 researchers pinged 2,250 people at random moments and asked what they were doing, what they were thinking about, and how they felt. Minds were elsewhere about half the time. And those people reported being less happy, even during unpleasant tasks.
Which is exactly where you live tonight.
So who taught your brain to take the money?
Almost nobody is born running this at full volume. Some people start out more sensitive. The volume gets trained, usually one of 2 ways.
Version 1. You grew up somewhere unpredictable, where one person's mood set the weather for the house. So you got very good at reading half-second pauses and at running, what happens if I say this at dinner, before you said it.
That wasn't overthinking. That was a kid doing threat analysis because the threats were real. The skill kept you safe. Nobody told it the war ended.
Version 2. Nothing dramatic. You got rewarded over and over for thinking harder. Grades, deadlines, measured twice, cut once. So your head learned a rule: when the stakes go up, add thinking.
Which works, right up until the problem is the kind thinking can't close. 2 different childhoods, same program, both earned honestly. So let's kill the other word right now. You're not lazy. Lazy people don't work a night shift.
There's a second layer. Adrian Wells studies what people believe about their own thinking. Chronic overthinkers hold a few quiet rules they never wrote down. Worrying keeps me prepared. If I replay it enough, I'll finally understand it. If I stop scanning, that's when it gets me.
So it isn't a bad habit. It's a job, and you signed for it.
Which is why forcing it quiet backfires. Push a thought down hard and, for a lot of people, it comes back more often. You don't need a study for that one. You've run the experiment. Every night.
You weren't fighting a habit. You were fighting a bodyguard who thinks he's saving your life.
So we don't fight him. We renegotiate. 5 loops. Let's name them. Loop 1, the entry-level one, the open file. 1 line, a case your head refuses to close because closing it feels like giving up on the answer.
Watch it run. Sunday evening, you're loading the dishwasher, thinking about nothing, and a thing you said on Wednesday walks in. Why did I say that? Feels like looking into it. The cringe lands before the memory even finishes loading. 20 minutes later, the dishes are still in the sink, you're spiraling, and the question has upgraded itself to, why do I always do this? Now you're not investigating. You're the prosecution.
What it's buying, closure. What it's paying with, your Sunday. Edward Watkins studies 2 ways of asking. Abstract questions, why me? What does this say about me? Keep the file open. Concrete ones, what happened? What's the next actual step? Can finish. So, listen for the word why in your own head. That's the drawer opening. Swap it for a what. Not, why am I like this? What would I say differently next time? Not, why did I ruin it? What's one thing I can still do about it? Then 10 minutes on paper, pen moving. Paper forces concrete.
Price tag. This gets you moving. It doesn't make sadness illegal. Some things need feeling, not solving. And if the low is heavy and constant, this is a tool, not treatment. Seeing someone isn't losing. It's hiring a detective with an actual license. The line, for when you hear the drawer, this case is cold. I'm closing it.
Loop 1 reopens files that already exist. Loop 2 opens files on things that haven't happened. Loop 2, the one with a business model, the Protection Racket. 1 line, worry shows up dressed as protection, collects up front, and takes credit for every disaster that never arrives.
Here's a normal Tuesday. There's a meeting Thursday, and something about it feels off. So you spend Tuesday night walking through every way it could go wrong. Wednesday too. Thursday comes. The meeting is fine. It was always going to be fine, and the racket leans in, you're welcome. Same time next week.
Here's the part that flips it. Thomas Borkovec found that worry is mostly words, sentences, not pictures. And the talking does a job. It keeps the vivid version, the one with images in it, out of the room, so your body's alarm stays lower than if you actually looked.
So worry isn't preparation. It's avoidance in a hard hat. It feels like work precisely because it's keeping you away from the scary part.
The exit is one of the oldest field-tested moves there is. Give it office hours. 15 minutes, same time, same chair. When it knocks at a random hour, don't argue. Write 2 words on whatever's near, money, Thursday, and go back to your life. Then at the appointment, worry hard, on purpose, the whole 15.
Price tag, and it's a real one. The original study gave people 30 minutes. 15 is our tightening, not theirs. The first week feels ridiculous. And most worries won't survive until their own appointment. Which isn't magic, it's evidence about who was really collecting. The line, for when it knocks mid-Tuesday, you're on the docket.
The racket has to knock. There's 1 hour of the day when it doesn't, because it has a key. Loop 3. The night shift, the 2 a.m. Tribunal. 1 line, your head waits for the dark, quiet hours to open court on your social record.
You already know this one. It was the first 30 seconds of this video. You watched it once, not knowing what you were looking at. Watch it again.
It's 1:47 in the morning, no input. Dark, still, silent, nothing else is competing for the room. A pause, half a second too long. Missing data. You own your half of that tape. Their half doesn't exist, so your head writes it, and it writes from the threat pile. You've run it 40 times. The payroll. Every pass pays 1 counterfeit coin of almost. You'll run it again. Open file. Unfinished business keeps getting served back.
Same scene, same words, same you. Now you can see the levers. That's the whole channel. That's all decoded means.
Exits, and the first is out loud. Name it, court's in session, court's fake. Naming it moves you from inside the loop to watching it, which is a different seat. Then park the question on paper. The exact question the court keeps asking. Word for word, plus 1 sentence for tomorrow. You, did I annoy her at lunch? And under it, ask how her week's going and listen. That's the whole note. A sleep lab put 57 people to bed. The ones who spent 5 minutes writing tomorrow's to-do list fell asleep faster. Small study, cheap to test, not settled law.
And give the room competition. Something boring in your ears, counting back from 300 by threes. You're not forcing sleep, you're occupying the stage. Price tag, bad nights still happen. The win is a quick verdict instead of a trial that runs until morning. The line, court's in session, court's fake. Out loud, yes, you'll feel stupid, everyone does. If the tribunal is yours, put your actual usual time in the comments. Just the time. Those threads get strangely comforting.
Court adjourns around 4. But there's one room in your head that never closes, and it's the one where you always win. Loop 4, the one your body pays for, the rematch. One line, you refight a fight that's already over against an opponent your own head is writing.
You're in the shower. Tuesday's coworker shows up, and this time you say it, the flawless version with the perfect ending. The imaginary room is stunned.
Then round 2 starts, because they said something back, which is impressive for someone who isn't there.
You're writing both sides. You win every single one, and you're still losing the evening.
Your body can't tell it's fiction. Rehearsed anger runs on real hardware, jaw tight, heart rate up, in an empty bathroom, undefeated in there, exhausted out here.
Exits. Learn the tell. The second your opponent delivers a perfect villain line, they'd never actually say, you're in the rematch. That's the cue, not what they said, how well it was written.
Then demote it to drafting. 1 sentence, the one you would genuinely say to their face. Then the calendar test, a real conversation, a real date in the next few days, or you retire the belt and delete the sentence.
Price tag, some rehearsal is legitimate. 2 reps before a hard conversation that's actually happening genuinely help. The difference between preparing and the rematch is a date on the calendar. Rehearsal with no fight scheduled is a fight club for one. The line, say it or drop it.
4 loops, 4 different rooms. Now put them side by side. Loop 5, the one we flagged. It isn't a 5th loop, it's what the other 4 are for.
Look at them. The open file is digging for the explanation that finally settles it. The racket is paying dread for a guarantee. The tribunal is retrying the case until the verdict feels certain. The rematch is running it again until the win is guaranteed. 4 costumes, 1 purchase order, certainty.
The certainty tax. 1 line, your head won't act until it feels sure, and it will pay anything for that feeling. Sleep, weeks, whole decisions, and the feeling is not for sale.
Look where you are, almost midnight. The message you wrote 3 days ago, still in drafts. 19 tabs open for a decision you've made and unmade twice. 1 more read through, 1 more search. The next one might finally produce the feeling. You might know this one by its other name, analysis paralysis. Second guessing yourself for a week. Same tax, different receipt.
Same trick as the tribunal, bigger case. 1 more read through, the payroll. 1 more search. Almost, charges in hours, pays in almost. I'll send it when it feels right. The tax. The feeling was the product. The decision was never the point.
This is the one we told you to stay for. 3 moves.
Move 1 comes from Ethan Kross. When you're working something hard over, drop the I. Use your own name. Not what should I do here? What should Alex do here? In his studies, that one-word switch lowered how reactive people were and helped them reason about their own situation the way they'd reason about a friend's. You give excellent advice. You've just never been your own client.
Move 2. Decide by a time, not by a feeling. Out loud, Alex decides Thursday at noon, with whatever Alex knows by then. That turns the tax from a subscription into one final payment.
Move 3. Cap the research. 3 good sources, then the time rules. Past 3, you're not learning. You're feeding it. The caveat we promised, using your own name is not an oracle either. Real decisions still deserve real research. Capped. All it does is take the fear noise off the top, so you can hear what you already know.
The line, Thursday at noon, with whatever I've got. Now let's take the air out of it because you've been sold enough. None of this makes hard things easy. The breakup still hurts. The decision is still heavy. What goes away isn't the difficulty, it's the argument on top of it. The loop running over the pain, charging rent.
And the names won't fire cleanly on day 1. Catching a loop while it's running is a skill, and skills wobble before they hold. You'll catch it late, an hour into the drawer. Late still counts. Late means it stopped being invisible. And one more thing, and it's the only piece of jargon you get. The people who study this call it rumination. You've probably never once called it that. You say your brain won't shut off. You say you're stuck in your head. Those are better words for the same pattern.
And none of this gets fixed. It gets managed. Anyone selling you fixed is selling you something.
We're not here to optimize you. You were never broken. You were trained by a house that needed a lookout, by a school that graded the careful one, by a head doing exactly what it gets paid to do.
Understanding how the loop works isn't self-improvement, it's self-defense.
5 names. That's the program.
One of those 5 got uncomfortably specific. Put its name in the comments. Open file, racket, tribunal, rematch, certainty tax, and the situation it runs on. If it was a thing you didn't know had a name, say that. The specific ones decide what we decode next.
If one of them caught you red-handed, that's what the like button is for. And send this to exactly one person, the one who texts 12 paragraph analyses at midnight and calls it a quick thought. They'll know why.
Now notice what 4 of those 5 are feeding on. Someone else's silence, the pause, the message with no reply, the verdict that never comes.
Next episode, we decode its purest form, the hidden reason people ghost you. And no, it isn't that they stopped caring. It's mostly not about you, except for the small slice that is, and almost everyone reads that slice exactly backwards.
Your tribunal is going to want that one.